Tonight I was sitting by my phone, waiting like a lot of people to find out if the US was going to bomb Iran. Not watching the news casually, actually waiting, almost paralyzed. Calling people that I love, thinking about what could come next. And then out of nowhere, the deadline moved 2 more weeks. And something clarified for me in that moment. I cannot continue to let someone who doesn't give a shit about me control who or how or when I show up. I want to be precise about something before I go further because precision matters to me more than a clean narrative. Crypto's promise, the broader promise, was inclusion, decentralization, no gatekeepers. Anyone with a connection could participate in rebuilding how money moves. That was the pitch. XRP and Ripple never made that promise. Their promise was different. Work beside the existing financial infrastructure, moving money across borders faster, cheaper, in fractions of a second. That's not an inclusion promise, that's an efficiency promise. And I think it's important to separate those two things because what I'm about to ask isn't about what Ripple promised. It's about what the pattern looks like when you step back far enough to see it. I live in spaces that are predominantly white. I feel it before anyone says anything at restaurants, cafes, valet stands. The quiet signal, you don't belong here. And I'm one of few, so I know it's not in my head. And I want to be precise here too. I'm not talking about one country or one century. I'm talking about a pattern. The wealth that built these institutions, the banks, the governments, the financial systems that we all are operating inside of right now, that wealth came from somewhere. From labor that wasn't always compensated, from land that was taken, from resources extracted from an entire continent without equal return, without acknowledgement, without repair. And the people it came from are still waiting for it to come back in any form. And now we have a technology that promises to move money across borders in fractions of a second. And I'm waiting to see if it reaches the people who are still waiting, or if it just moves faster between the same hands as before, or as always. I got uninvited from a conversation about stablecoins recently. Not in the industry, not at the table. That's how access works. But I saw a picture of some of the people who were in the room. I saw 5 or maybe tops 8 people from the photo. I won't assume what the rest of the room looked like because that would be unfair. Maybe the builders that I've seen at hackathons or build-a-thons, maybe they were there. I really genuinely hope so. But the picture, the image of who was at the table, looked like every other image of power that I have ever seen. And the first person that I noticed was a young white man in a suit. And my first thought was not anger. It was, of course. Crypto was supposed to break that picture. That was the entire promise. the entire premise. And the room where stablecoins are being decided looks like 1987. I've been to build-a-thons. I've been to hackathons. I've been to global crypto conferences. The technology is for everyone events. I've been to those also. And there is real diversity in those rooms. I've seen it. I felt it. People building, contributing, opening doors into their own communities, their own countries, their own continents. And I want to give grace here because I don't know the intent. And it's also possible Ripple is building with the face of the old system while genuinely connecting to something new. I can hold that. But I have a question that I cannot stop sitting with. If the builders who look like the communities being entered, if they're opening those doors, establishing that trust, building that infrastructure, and the table where the decisions get made looks like what I saw in that picture, then I have to ask, is the infrastructure being built for those communities, or is it just being built there? Because those are two totally different things. And we've seen one before. I recently sold my entire crypto portfolio to support my life. I'm also a Black man with no financial history watching the architecture of global money shift in real time. The petrodollar is weakening, or at least seems to be weakening. Iran is accepting yuan and stablecoins for the movement of oil, something that was previously backed by the US dollar. Russia is moving stablecoins into Africa. This isn't theory. This is happening right now. And my last video that I made got 30 views. And the voice I grew up with says, how would a Black man with no financial experience know about something that people in that room don't? I'm not here to fight that voice. I'm just done letting it have the last word. The promise of this country, the city shiny on the top of the hill, it's being dismantled. Not secretly, openly. And we've normalized it. We've adjusted like it's a weather report. And the promise of this technology, that it would be different, is sitting in a room that I wasn't invited into. I'm holding two things right now: frustration and curiosity about who built this and who gets to decide what comes next. I don't have the answer, but I'm also not going to stop asking the questions.